Hi everyone, my name is Adeola. Today I'll be talking about the racism in the world of soccer. Before I proceed, I would like to start with a quote from a professional boxer, Muhammad Ali, who says, "Hating people because of their color is wrong. It doesn't matter which color does he hate is just playing on." Like Muhammad Ali, who was a professional athlete, he was being racially discriminated and racially abused during that time, and that's the reason why he said it. And also, racism just don't only occur in boxing; it also hence also occur in the world of soccer. And today, I'll be telling you the definition of racism, the history of racism, example of racism, how racism affect player, manager, fans, and referee of soccer, and what is being done to minimize racism in the world of soccer. First, definition of racism. Racism is an act of using derogatory slur, discriminative word, or racial gesture toward another race. Now that you know the definition, I'm going to proceed to the history of racism. Racism began in Europe. Soccer started as a leisure game with five nations: England, Ireland, Iceland, Scotland, and Wales, and eventually other countries like African nations, Euro, South Americans, North American, they all come together to join the race, and that's when racism began because the five nation doesn't want any other color to participate in that game. And now that you've known a little bit of history about racism and where it began, I'm going to go to how racism affects player. Example of racism, Example of racism begin. Example of racism that I've seen so far is Riley Regis, who was born in France but played in England in a base club in England from 1977 to 1996. And one day, one of the opponents used a racial slur, and he said he used that racial slur as a leverage to throw Regis off of his game. And when they asked the opponent, was he insisted that he wasn't being racist, he was just finding a way to get Regis to be angry. And another example is Oladapo Rotimi, who was born in England and eventually adopted by a white family. And one time when he was playing soccer in a tournament, one of the fans shouted, "Hey, black monkey, you should pack your bag and go back to Jamaica." But originally, Olagotimi parents were from Africa, from Nigeria. And now that you know the example of racism that occur in the soccer, I will proceed us to how racism affect players. Racism affect players in three categories: psychologically, emotionally, and physically. Psychological factor, example will be Kevin Prince Boateng, who was verbally abused by an opposing fan team, and he became mentally distracted because he couldn't take it, and he decided to walk off the field. And shortly after he walked off, his teammates, entire teammate joined in, including the coach and the opposing team follow as well. Emotional aspect is all Team Oladapo, who's been playing for England for a long time and quit 10 years after playing because he couldn't take the discriminative slur and the racial gesture that was being used towards him and his family. An example of physical effect of racism is Samuel Eto'o, who plays for Barcelona, but one day he was one of the opposing fans threw a banana at him, indicating and calling him a monkey. And now that you know how racism affect player, I'll now continue with how racism affect the manager. Racism affects manager in terms of team management, because when you have black and white people in the same team and the unity is not because somebody was using racial slur against one another, then it creates commotion. It doesn't create unity, it creates distraction while they were playing, which can cause the team to lose. And some other people don't doesn't know how to handle racism, so that also acts as a factor towards the manager. And now that you know how it affects manager, I'm going to continue with how it affects referee. Referee are affected in terms of judgment call, because if a white referee give a bad call to a black player, then people see it as a racist act. And sometimes referee ignore racism behavior from players on the street because they think they classify as it being a simple banter or nothing serious or being part of the game. And now that we've known how it affects referee, I'm going to move to what is being done to minimize racism in soccer. There are 14 that's been done. Kick it out program in which player wear a t-shirt before and after soccer to show low tolerance of racism in soccer. Another way is fine. Whoever person or individual or team that is found using racial slur are being punished with a hefty fine of money. Another is upon deduction. If federal Federation International Football Association found out that somebody or a whole team use a racial gesture towards somebody else, they take their point. Regardless if they are winning or losing, they take a point away from them. Another way they do is ban. They ban individual person or team as a whole if they have one or more occurrence of racial abuse toward another fan. And now that we've talked about definition of racism, history of racism in soccer, example of racism, how racism affect player, manager, fans, and soccer, referee of soccer, and what is being done to minimize, I would like to leave you with a quote from our former president of the United States who says, "Darkness has no color. As long as we can all come together as one, we can achieve a lot of things in life." Thank you.